Howdy! So, I'm going to be talking about how you can strengthen a community in just one summer, or 10 weeks if that's the time you have. So, who am I? I'm May. I use they, them pronouns. I was an intern on the education team, work on student programs this summer with GitHub. And as of today, I started my contract with them, so that's fun. And this is my GitHub handle if you want it. So, in this context, talking about this, I'm going to be telling you about the GitHub Student Developer Pack and what I did with that, some of the things I learned. If you're unfamiliar with the GitHub Student Developer Pack, it's about 40 plus tools and services, which averages out to like $45,000 in value per pack per person. And overall, we've had nearly 2 million students sign up and use the pack. So that gives you an idea of how big our community is. Like, this is our community, this is who we're serving. And here are the things I learned while trying to support that community this summer. So I came across kind of a 4-step plan. Find the pain points, explore the solutions, try the solutions, and then we're going to repeat. So, finding the pain points. In the case of Student Developer Pack, we had 2 big problems. There were a lot of students who are like, I have all these things, but what am I going to do with them? Because it's kind of just a list of all these products that you can get. And if you don't know what something is, if you don't know what Datadog is, you're probably never going to use it. On that topic, when you're applying for the pack, because you have to apply and show that you're an actual student, there are a lot of students who are legitimate students who are getting rejected from the pack because they didn't have proper proof that they were a student. So in trying to find these pain points, here are some things I did. I did some UX research, asked my community, like, hey, what are the problems that you're running into? A lot of students were talking about not being able to find resources on how to get started with these products, or figuring out a way to use these products in some sort of application, project, real-life application. Similarly, with students who are getting rejected, finding why are they getting rejected? They don't know what they can use to show that they're a student if they don't have a student ID, or if they don't have a student email address that ends in .edu. Students in Canada probably are very familiar with this, not having .edu. Same for students in India and developing nations. So, ask your community what help they need. Track the problems to find what things that you've noticed personally, or things that other people have noticed, maybe outside the community. So, explore those solutions. Try to find what's going to help. You want to make sure you're determining the type of change needed for the problem. This might be a technical change. This might be non-technical. This could be very big. This could be very small. But it's most important that you find what will solve the problem, not what you want to solve the problem. Especially when we are technical students or technical people, we might think that technology solves everything, when in reality, it might just be that we need to clarify the copy that we're using when talking to our users. Which also ties into big change, small change. Changing copy is pretty small, but maybe writing an additional application can be pretty intensive and maybe unnecessary. So, try those solutions out. Make some prototypes that can look like paper prototypes, just trying to see what works. Find the next course of action after you've kind of done your prototyping, figured out what you want to go with. And if that doesn't work, note what didn't work. But if it does work, note what did. In my case, I was making sure that students that were getting rejected, the biggest problems they were running into was just not knowing the information they needed to know. So that didn't necessarily mean some big code change. It just meant changing the copy on the application so that they were aware, oh, Here's what to do if I don't have a student ID or some email address. Some of these other things can be like simple UI fixes. Additionally, we made a drip campaign that kind of details all these resources that you can use to get started with the developer pack, as well as a student gallery where you can see work that other students have done with the student developer pack and tutorials they've made and their stories and journeys with this pack. So, finally, after you've tried out your solutions, you gotta repeat it, because design is an iterative process, and you're designing your community. So it makes sense that you're gonna have to repeat some of these things over and over, especially as you get more users, new users, or sometimes things that you've started in their first iteration need to be refined along the way. So just to recap, we're going to find the pain points, explore some solutions, try some solutions, and then we're gonna repeat as many times as you need. Thank you.